Today might be the most interesting show yet. 23 players have been traded, and we're going to go through each deal one by one. The first ever Home Run Derby champ has been crowned, and the DLB All-Star Game ends in surprising fashion. All in today's episode of the DLB Show. Coming up. Alright boys, the DLB Show is back. Now, I've been getting a little bit distracted. Apex Legends has really got me, and I had a lot of traveling to do over the last couple weeks, and I'm sorry. I even brought the footage with me, my microphone and everything, and I thought I had what I needed to make the DLB while I was traveling, but I just didn't have that one very important thing, time. But we're gonna jump into it. We're gonna kick things off with a little bit of breaking news. All right, 23 players have been traded. Yes, you heard that right. 23 of you are packing your bags and going to a new city. We caught an early glimpse of some of these reports from some unhappy players voicing their displeasure on Twitter. I better start. I better play. I don't like this city. Why am I not doing this? You know what? We made some changes. I digress. This will be the biggest change to the DLB roster yet. First up, the Mets and the Nationals have reached an agreement for a massive 7-player deal. The New York Mets are shipping third baseman Kent Murphy, center fielder Big Hurt, second baseman T. Bart, all the way to the Nationals for third baseman J.J. Shipley, second baseman Carter Gish, left fielder Tyler Wyatt, and left field prospect Brooklyn Bridges. With this, the Mets gain needed upgrades in the outfield while the Nationals improve at third base and second base. All right, next blockbuster trade. The Seattle Mariners and the Tampa Bay Rays have reached a deal. This trade broke on Twitter. No surprises here. Mariners send left fielder Chris Statler, first base prospect Mike Mello, and catcher Chase Font in exchange for center fielder Fro Banks and catcher Blake Fresh. Of course, Fro and Fresh, very talented players who've been struggling in Tampa Bay, but are making a move to a struggling Mariners team, hoping to reinvigorate and bring them back to prominence. Another trade that broke on Twitter, this time between the Indians and the Rangers. The Indians send left fielder Zach Pierce, first baseman Carl Reed, and catcher David Zay for left fielder Garrett Coughlin, first baseman Oscar Tejada, and catcher Trevor Whitebird. In this one, the Indians gave up some pretty solid talent to get their guy Coughlin, who's been underperforming in Texas, but let's see how this pays off. And last but not least, this trade, probably the biggest one, the San Francisco Giants and the Chicago White Sox shock us with a trade that we didn't see coming. The Giants send center fielder Rocky Coleman, second baseman Austin Oda, and shortstop prospect Buster Robinson in exchange for center fielder Jake Zaleski, shortstop Woodrow Jones, and third baseman Michael Bridges. It looks like to me that the White Sox are getting a little bit of an edge here, getting one of the best center fielders in the DLB, but I guess we'll have to see if this works out. Some massive trades here with some big time players. Can't wait to see how they perform in their new unis over the next few weeks, but now let's jump into the very first DLB Home Run Derby. Taking a look at the Home Run Derby, we got 8 players. Mighty Goat, Kim Jong-un, Ian Davis, Hack Wilson, Teak Route, Ressie Garcia, Patrick Kramer, and Quinn Shiflett. Mighty Goat averaging a home run every 8.9 games. In the first round, Quinn Shiflett goes up against Mighty Goat. Mighty Goat comes out on top, 4 home runs to 3, moving to the semis. Teak Route, he would get shut down by Hack Wilson, 4-3. On the other side, Ressie Garcia and Ian Davis get knotted up into a tie, but Ian Davis sneaks away with it, moving on to the semis. And then Patrick Kramer loses to Kim Jong-un, who get 3 home runs. And now we've got our 4-player matchup. Mighty Goat versus Hack Wilson, Ian Davis versus Kim Jong-un. This was a tough one. Hack Wilson would get 4 home runs to edge out Mighty Goat 4-3 to go on to the finals. And then Ian Davis would have a monster round, 6 home runs to edge out Kim Jong-un 6-3. So our final, Texas Rangers Hack Wilson versus Ian Davis. Mariners Ian Davis, but Hack Wilson would add a hell of a final round. 7 home runs to Ian Davis's 3. Hack Wilson, congratulations to Hack Wilson, the Home Run Derby champ for the first DLB Home Run Derby. Now, we got to keep going with this All-Star weekend. We're going to jump into the very first DLB All-Star game, but before we do that, let's take a quick look at the AAA All-Stars World and USA Futures game. AAA All-Stars, we got a couple different guys. Brooklyn Bridges hitting 326 on the year. We also got Cole Train that's hitting 290. Nate Houghton Henley hitting 283. Colton Tyndall 275. They're starters. here in the AAA All-Star Game. Now, moving on to the World versus the Futures. A lot of recognizable players here. On the World side, Nate Houghton-Henley, batting fourth, starting center fielder. We got Trevor Harper at first, Jamil Aziz in right field, Sam Grisone at third. Moving over to the Future side, Pablo Sanchez, starting shortstop. We got Blake Stortz, starting center, Brooklyn Bridges in left, Baker Betts, Doug Vaney, and Nick Clams. And then I don't know, this one's weird. Another Brooklyn Bridges? That might be a problem. I'm going to look into why we have two Brooklyn Bridges in the league. So, now what you've been waiting for, the DLB All-Star Game. Let's take a look at the starters. On the AL side, Dante Fazio, starting catcher, Hack Wilson, starting first baseman, Kim Jong-un at second, Tim Cougs at third, Caden Bishop at short, Buki Johnson in left, Teak Rout in center, Jay Killen in right, and Griffin Taylor is your starting DH with Monty Apostle on the mound. On the NL side, starting catcher Kabir Juarez, Patrick Kramer at first base, Brandon Reed at second, Mighty Goat at third, Hunter Hicks at short, Reggie Stalker in left, Jake Zaleski now in the Giants in center, Ethan Groening in right, and Liam McCullough the DH with Jacob Quantrill on the mound. Taking a look at how the game would fare. This one was a crazy one. 11 runs for the AL to the 8 runs on the NL side. 13 hits for the AL, but 18 for the NL, but they would get the L. A lot of numbers up here on this board. The AL in extra innings in the 10th inning would break the 8-8 tie to go up ahead to get the dub. Player of the game, Tim Cougs, 3 for 6 with a home run, 2 RBIs. Also, Drake Powers went 1 for 1 with the home run and 3 ribbies. Justin Adams went 1 for 1 with a home run and 2 runs. Hack Wilson, home run derby champ here, and then winner on the AL side, 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI. On the NL side, Reggie Stalker, 3 for 4 with a home run and 2 ribbies. Mighty Goat, 3 for 4 with a double and 2 ribbies. Jake Zaleski hitting 500 on the day, and Kabir Juarez, 1 for 5 with a double and 3 ribbies. Winning pitcher would be Richard Parkhill, 5 for 2. Only threw that 1 inning, got that 1 strike, and then Daisuke Okada with the save. He's got 30 on the year so far. The losing pitcher, Dale Gribble. All right, what an amazing episode of the DLB Show. We saw some major trades. We took a look at the current and future stars of the DLB, and I can't be more excited to get through the rest of this season. That's going to do it for this one. Until the next one, we'll see ya. Peace.